okay, I have to preface this though. All right. Now, I don't want to sound insulting, so it's difficult for me to word this correctly, but basically what I want to say here is that in China, there's a lot of white worship going on. Now, by that, I mean, there's almost this sense of people looking for approval from the West. Right. And it obviously has to do with the fact that people look up to Hollywood, and you know that for a long time the West has always been ahead of China as far as quality of life and technology.
That's
and
why
things
they make
like
those
that.
replica cities. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. So you have this, for lack of a better word, white worship. So people looking for approval from white people. This is why we get a lot of trouble from our videos, is because they also it has the opposite effect. They want white people to say good things about China, but if a white person says something bad about China, it hurts so much more.
Or even just a mild critique.
Yeah, it hurts so much more because it's someone that they're seeking approval from. And that's why you get such a huge backlash. However, if a white person then says something that they want to hear, they'll just
propel them.
Jump up in arms and like, oh, you're so amazing, you are telling only the truth, you are the best. And
it's actually super unfair because as much, I think we focus a lot on some of the darker sides of how society works and how it attacks us.
Yeah.
But actually, it's kind of sad because if you're like a mainland Chinese streamer, let's say, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you put so much effort into what you're doing and it's like really well done, very professional, you won't even get a percentile of what some rando English teacher white dude does eating like Chinese food and it has no production value. It's not fair at all.
By the way, I don't agree with this whole white worship thing that I'm talking about. I actually find it abhorrent. It's ridiculous. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of your own nation. You know, don't seek the approval of others. It's unnecessary.
Sure.
You know?
It's going to fall on deaf ears. It's just
absolutely
how things work.
Anyway, so basically what we're getting to here is you don't see a Chinese person going out and saying something nice and positive and making a big thing about China. I don't see that. I very rarely see that, you know, or critiquing China, either one.
Right.
But what they do is they will hire white people to trumpet China, basically, to say, look how good China is. Because they feel like that's going to have more impact.
Right. And isn't that so ridiculous,
yes,
though?
Yes.
But, okay, so I want to preface this. We have absolutely no ill feelings for the people that we're about to show.
Yes.
Because the majority of them don't actually know what they're doing.
Yes,
right?
They don't.
And we've confirmed this. One of them definitely does.
Oh, yes.
But we're not out here to attack any of these individuals, but we want to use these videos as examples for how China uses foreigners to project their own message for a domestic audience. This is not for foreigners, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's, well, some of it is.
Some of it is the Shenyun thing.
Absolutely.
But we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
So we're going to start by playing you a little clip, okay? And we're going to have to stop this quite a lot and discuss what's going on.
Sure.
So
most of this is in English. You guys should be fine.
Yeah. Let's roll it.
China is smart. China is pure. China is powerful. Yes, I'm a foreigner, and I'm here to say it. I love China. This is where the world grows. This is where things happen. This is where you find evolution and beauty, development and future, sharing and passion. This is where you find joy and kindness and love. Yes, that is true. Nothing is perfect. But China is my home.
I'd like to point something out here. If we look at the landscape behind the dude, that is absolutely not China.
No.
Not in a million years.
This is a characteristic we see a lot in these like paid white people videos, is that they'll get someone outside of China to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this is true, but this guy may have even never been to China before.
Yeah, it's very possible. And even if he did go to China and stuff, he's not in China while he's making this. So it's like,
clearly not his home.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but China is my home, standing in an Eastern European, sort of farmland.
Right.
It's not correct. But also, just the wording. If you pay close attention to the wording, the way he keeps saying this, it's like a small child looking for approval from a parent.
Right.
Anyway, let's continue with it.
My home. But China is my lane. But China is my teacher, my brother, my friend. You gotta understand. You gotta China.
Sorry.
Well, come and see by yourself. I now talk to all the Chinese men, women, and children. My friends, let's make the world a better place. The world doesn't know you yet. Show yourself. Because you have strength, because you have happiness, because you have wealth, because you're the ones with the power to do great things, the ones with the resources to do the amazing, the ones with the culture to do beauty, and the will to go beyond.
It's a Michael Bay film.
Yeah, it looks like it. Where's the Transformers?
My friends,
That would make it better.
Yeah.
show the world the beauty of China.
Gotta have the kiss.
Little
I was
kiss.
waiting for that.
Yeah,
I was
little
waiting
kiss.
for that a little bit.
All right.
Very interesting stuff. And no ill feelings to this guy, like I said.
Sure.
But very, very scripted propaganda piece.
Yeah.
And anyone can see through that, right?
Absolutely.
I don't think this one was directed at foreigners.
Maybe.
Yeah. But
You
he
know,
says, the way he says, I'm speaking to all the Chinese men and women, and you know
Sure,
what I mean?
sure, exactly. It's a tough one. The thing is, I would take it a lot more serious if there was a nice-looking young Chinese guy there who's full of confidence,
Sure.
speaking in Chinese
Right.
or English, doesn't really
Right.
matter. But if he was saying, you know,
This is why
China's
good.
great, we love China, China's amazing, we're making great strides, all this. Why do you need some random, you know, young foreign dudes sitting in an Eastern European countryside to be like, China, you're great, you're awesome, you got money, you got happiness.
Right.
You know, it's a bit silly.
It's giving me chills. Like,
Yeah.
It's a powerful message.
Anyway,
yes, good
these
example.
people are definitely just paid to make these things. That's what we're going on about here.
Sure,
it's
sure,
not
sure,
like
sure.
just made by himself. Of course, you do get people that that are not paid to do this kind of thing, and they
Mhm.
do it for their own personal gain. Okay.
The thing is, like, when you see these, like, even foreign YouTubers, or not even YouTubers, maybe like Billy people or whatever, and they go to like Hainan or something,
Yeah.
and they're like, look at how beautiful it is, and they have all these epic shots and all this kind of stuff. The majority of the time, they just get paid.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't see any harm in that,
Sure.
but it's not genuine content, right?
Well, I did a whole video about that
Yeah.
where they've invited me multiple times. I'm sure they've invited
All
you too.
the time.
Hainan and Yunnan and stuff.
Right.
They hire foreigners who have YouTube channels and stuff
Right.
to go there, and they sort of force you to film nice footage and then post it to say how great
Sure.
it is. They pay you to do it. you
Sure.
know. Anyway, some people have tapped into this and realized that if they trumpet China by being a white person, that they get massive followings.
Right.
Okay, and the first guy to ever do this is a guy by the name of David. Gulassi.
He's the OG.
He's the old one. So we're gonna play his little clip next. Okay, start. This is the one that made him famous. So let's get in.
This guy was in China, by the way. He's in China.
Yeah.
你好啊，今天的话题是这个。I would like to talk to you guys about something serious. It really upsets me and it makes me angry. It really pisses me off, actually. I'm sick and tired of seeing foreign people coming to China, earning the money here, living the life here, having so much freedom in China, and then complaining about China. I want to tell those foreign people something. If you're one of those foreign people, I want to tell you something. Piss off, okay? Piss off back to your country.
Okay,
If you don't
pause that
like
for a
China
second.
so much, don't stay here.
Now, okay, to be fair, I think most people go through a phase when they get to China, right?
Or anywhere.
Yeah, where you just kind of new, you're really enjoying the place, you're still in the honeymoon period,
Sure.
and you meet the cranky old guys that have been around there and they're complaining all the time.
Right.
And, you know, for me, there's
I
going
got
to...
pissed off at that.
Yeah, there's a newspaper article where I say, not as crass. I'm not this guy. I'm not as I don't know the right word to use here without sounding insulting. But I'm not this guy. So I just said like, hey, you know, if you don't like it, you're always more than welcome to go elsewhere.
Sure.
Kind of thing. That's,
Well, I agree with that
yeah.
sentiment.
yeah, it's a good sentiment. But now this guy obviously made up this story, right? Which we're going to skip to next. Let's go to his little story. So he made up this little story. Let's get to his little story.
Try to be nice about it. If you don't like something, just say you don't like something. Don't be rude to the locals. I saw a foreign guy in an elevator once swearing to another guy. And it really pissed me off, you know. I swore to him. I said, hey, 老外,你咋了? Huh? And I said it in Chinese, and the guy looked at me, and I said, just piss off. Go back to your country. Like, I'm sick and tired of these kind of foreigners coming here. So, all right, I want to tell you guys something. If you're one of these foreigners, piss off, okay? Go back to your country. Don't stay here. China doesn't need you.
Yeah, pause there. Here's the thing. This guy's now speaking on behalf of China. You know, for some reason he thinks that he's the authority to say, oh, China doesn't need you.
Right.
Right?
I feel like a country that made him a meme and made him famous because they said he looked like a ridiculous sloth, he wouldn't have such kind words, because that's actually what happened.
Yeah, that's it.
They were like, look at his crazy facial expressions. Doing, 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 you know, like,
yeah. Look,
but anyway, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Because he said this, what you've seen over here, he was like, if you don't like it, piss off, okay? He did that. He got a massive amount of support.
Huge.
First of all, the story about him and a foreigner in an elevator, I
Right.
highly doubt, because this guy's...
We can't call 100%
Yeah,
BS,
but-
but come on.
Yeah, I highly doubt it.
老外你咋了?
I really don't think he did that. But even if he did, it's probably what he wanted to say, so he took to the internet to, like, vent his frustrations.
You know when you're like laying in bed and you do like mock scenarios in your head about like how you would handle things differently? I feel like that's
It's very possible. Because of this video, it went viral in China.
Yeah.
And he got a massive amount of support from the people that are looking for that validation.
Right.
So from the nationalists who are tired of CNN and BBC
Right.
saying negative things about China.
Right.
They're tired of like some of the garbage foreigners that are, you know, messing about in China, which I can understand.
Sure.
But instead of them personally standing up and making videos and saying, you know what, you scummy foreigners, if you don't like China, what are you doing here?
Right.
They don't do that
Yeah.
because they just don't have the ability or the drive, or they're too shy, or they're too worried
That
to
type
put them.
of person,
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
that type
Right.
of person. So they latched onto him because he's now trumpeting and he's like championing their message. So they made him incredibly famous, and he rode that fame for
Oh, yeah.
years. He kept
he became
making
quite wealthy,
yeah.
I think.
He started a school.
because of
He
this,
had
yeah.
a lot of different people because of his fame from this video, from like
Right.
telling foreigners to piss off, okay?
Right, I was gonna
He-
say, like, was he walked into class for his first lesson for like David Gulassi's English class, and he's like, first lesson, piss off, okay? And the kid's like, piss off.
Probably, yeah. Anyway, so he became famous, and he rode this for years, and he made a bunch of similar videos. Like basically, remember during the whole apologize to what's that swimmer?
Sun Yang or something.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
remember there was an
Yeah.
Australian guy, because he's Australian, obviously. So there's the Australian swimmer
Right.
called the Chinese
Yeah,
swimmer
the-
a drug cheat.
Yeah, because he was doping
Yeah.
or something.
So this David Galassi had like a sign saying,
Apologize.
"Apologize, Mark." What's it, Mac Horton or
Mac
something?
Horton,
Mac
that's
Horton,
right.
apologize to China. You know, you
Right.
insult the Chinese people. He was one of those guys. So he's
Right.
basically a shill.
Oh, it's very selfish.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
tell. You know, but this
And-
the reason we brought this up is it instigated a whole brand
Yes.
of not paid, like
Yeah.
not like the first guy who just
Yeah.
got a script in the mail and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
please record this in your backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like voluntary shills, right?
Yes,
That know
yes.
that they can get famous.
But these guys are actually the worst kind, because they're
Right.
using that.
That's selfish.
Yeah, it's very selfish. They use that for fame and for their own gains. So that's why you're starting to find a lot of people who will just straightforward trumpet the nationalist speaking points of China, the
Sure.
communist speaking points, say
Sure.
China is better than everything else because of
Right.
this and that. Communism is great, you know, China needs this, China is better than, you know, so then they get the same following and they get the same push,
Right.
which it's just unfortunate because,
Right.
you know, if anyone who's intelligent can see through it, and they're taking advantage of the sort of lower end nationalist dudes.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you know, I think this whole boom of like I'll just say white, maybe even foreign,
Yeah.
foreign like Chinese media stars has instigated the government now to seek out other
Yes.
foreigners to promote their propaganda message or their soft power message. So we're
Yeah.
going to look at a very, very interesting one that was
Yes.
provided by another YouTuber.
Yeah, let's just,
Skip. We don't need to hear him anymore.
yeah, where's,
So not his. Oh.
no, we got to go all the way back. So somewhere around about here. Just, yeah. Just let
This
him-
place has helped me a lot.
Let him.
And
let
I
him play.
appreciate
yeah,
it.
let him finish.
So
Yeah.
guys, be grateful for what you have, okay? Sorry for the
Oh,
serious
kiss.
topic,
Did the
but I
kiss.
really
This is a
wanted to express
theme.
my feeling. I love you guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Stop kissing, dude.
And also, that guy better check out his herpes
Yeah,
as well.
this looks pretty bad.
Anyway, okay, now this guy, you can see him in the background here. This JJ McCullough.
Yep.
McCullough.
Yeah.
The reason why I found out about this guy is I did that video about the the whole Shen Yun thing a while
Probably
back.
should explain what that is.
Okay, basically there's this religion/cult that's banned in China called the Falun Gong. You're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to practice it. It's basically like a special
It's
kind
like a
of Tai
weird
Chi.
reading exercise.
It's
Tai Chi thing,
it's
whatever.
totally weird. If you read into it, it's also very strange. You know,
Sure.
they believe that you
I
can.
wouldn't call it dangerous.
No, it's not dangerous, but they believe all sorts of weird stuff. Like you can cure cancer through Tai Chi.
Sure.
You can cure homosexuality
Right.
and all this. You know, they're a little bit. They got a screw loose as far as I'm concerned. But the thing is, they put on this like cultural dance show. All over the place in the West, not just in America, but all over. And it's this big extravaganza dancing thing. But it's actually just veiled propaganda for Falun Gong, their movement. So it's kind of like Scientology in a way.
In a way, yeah. And the whole thing is like it's persecuted in China, right?
Yes,
Like it's
yes.
totally illegal, so you get kidnapped if you practice in public, things like this. So it's their like propaganda piece to push back against the CCP.
Yeah, pretty much. And also just to bolster their numbers.
Sure.
That's the thing. Like if you ever have gotten a flyer on your car or in your mailbox about like organ harvesting in China
Right.
and stuff, it's the
It's the
Falun
Falun
Gong.
Gong,
Yeah,
right.
they're the guys who do this.
Right.
So anyway, because there's this freedom of speech thing and whatnot in the West, China can't go there and say, you're not allowed to do this.
Right.
They can't stop the show.
Right.
They can't go and like arrest everyone,
Right.
which they do in China.
Right.
If you dare to try and practice Falun Gong in public, they will arrest you. You just disappeared. So what do they do instead? They try to sway people's minds to make them believe that Falun Gong is bad.
Get ready for the most low effort crap you've
Yeah.
ever seen in your
So
life.
anyway, before we roll that clip, I was watching on just YouTube and it popped up in a recommendation because I'd made that video. This JJ McCulloch, sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. He was approached and offered $500 to put a video on his channel. Okay, and we're going to show you the video now, at least parts of it. Let's roll that video.
This is not him, by the way.
No, this is not the McCulloch guy. This is the video. Let's go. And it's coming.
Hello everyone, my name is Owen. Recently, I've heard a lot of complaints from my friends, so I've decided to make this video today. Today, we're going to talk about a Chinese cultural performance. I'm sure many of you have heard of Shen Yun. You've probably seen the posters around town, the billboards in the subway. I even get mail directly sent to my inbox. In the beginning, I thought that this was just a traditional Chinese performance. But after further research and digging, I realized it's just not that simple. First of all, let's take a look at the Shen Yun performance poster. You'll see beautiful
2019,
dancers
it's
wearing
up to date.
ancient Chinese clothing. The posters are extremely impressive to everyone. There are some words to introduce traditional Chinese plays. I have friends who went out and spent up to $200 for tickets for really good seats. However, at the conclusion of the Shen Yun performance, many of my friends felt completely fooled and disappointed by the Shen Yun performance. They actually found that the show was not just about culture, but actually had religious and political propaganda, orchestrated by the Falun Gong. This performance completely revamped Chinese culture as we know it. Take the legendary story of Guo Mulan. Several years ago, as many of you may know, Disney animated this movie. However, during the Shen Yun performance, about halfway through, it switched to the Falun Gong during the middle of the show. We know the story of Guo Mulan existed over 1,500 years ago. But did the Falun Gong exist 1,500 years ago? Absolutely not.
Absolutely
One of the
not.
more
Let me just pause it for a
ridiculous
second. Okay,
This is live, by the way, and it wasn't my opinion to say Geico Caveman.
That's
That was
someone
else.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just-
yeah. Okay, now the fact of the matter is, I've been approached while in China to do things like this.
Yeah.
So have you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially for Chinese medicine. They obviously don't know me very well.
Exactly. They wanted me to pretend to be a doctor once for a thing and wear a lab coat. I refused. Another older expat that I know did it instead. But this guy is probably just an English teacher in China.
I'm not making fun of him.
No, I mean...
I'm sorry.
It is kind of difficult not to make fun of him because of the way he's presented. This guy looks very uncomfortable in a suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
He's sitting on a weird, very poorly put together stage.
Where's the microphone?
Yeah, it sounds like it's in the camera. It's some of the worst audio ever. If you're going to make a propaganda thing like this, at least make it sound good.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, the guy is obviously an English teacher doing a white monkey job, and you get approached all the time by companies, and they'll say, "Hey, we'll pay you 1,000 RMB. You
Right.
just need to read a script."
Right. This
We'll
is
film it.
political in nature,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
It is. So the guy probably has no idea what Shen
No,
Yun
no,
is.
no.
Okay.
Wait, even if he does, he doesn't understand what he's doing.
No,
Just get
exactly. And the worst thing is that now, probably, well, definitely without his knowledge,
Right.
people are being approached.
Right.
YouTubers are being approached and offered money to air this.
Right.
So they went after this other JJ McCulloch guy because he's a fairly influential writer or something, and he does some kind of other stuff. So
YouTuber.
yeah, they wanted that out there, and they've probably approached like thousands of different YouTubers asking them, "Hey, put this on your channel, we'll pay you," just so that they can try to sway opinion about Shen Yun
Right.
and make people believe it's evil and violent and stuff.
Sure. I guess I was appalled that the CCP thought this would work on a Western audience, because honestly, who the hell cares about Shen Yun anyway? Like, people are going to go watch it for being an art performance. They're not going to look into this and be like, you know what? The Chinese government's right.
Yeah, exactly.
These bastards.
They're misrepresenting Chinese
right,
culture
like,
and history.
come on, guys.
Yeah.
Low effort.
Yeah,
low effort.
exactly.
But yeah, he's just reading the script.
Let's go to the next next time.
So
step,
yeah,
because
JJ hooked me up with this next clip as well.
Well, no.
We're at it already, actually.
Oh,
okay.
are we? Okay, we're just going to watch this part because there's
Okay,
something
sure.
he says which
Fair enough.
is very relevant to the next clip we're going to show you. So
Okay.
let's go for it.
About the Shen Yun performance was the intermission. They arranged for a group of people to come and perform the Fallen Dafa. The performance style is confusing, political, and to be quite honest, pretty violent. There are many children.
Punch that kid.
Wanna
Punch
go
the
back to
kid.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's see the
please.
punch of the kid punch.
Yeah. Okay.
Where did they get that photo? You think they
pretty
made it?
violent.
What does it say? Stupid loser on the
Punch it with
thumb.
words. It's probably some
Yeah.
motivational poster.
It's probably like an anti-bullying.
Yeah. It's probably...
Whatever. But yeah, it's like it's pretty violence for children is what it says in the subtitles.
Right. Pretty violence.
Yeah, pretty
totally.
violence.
This guy wrote the script, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Seriously, yeah. If he did, he's the worst English teacher ever.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
And the posters do not depict any of the violence that will be portrayed in the Shen Yun performance. I can only imagine how the parents felt watching all of this violence with their children sitting right there. I cannot imagine how they felt in that moment. I also see a lot of celebrities speaking about the Shen Yun performance. In 2017, a writer named Sidney Jane
Okay, can you
Bailey-
pause it there? This is very significant. Okay, he's talking about one article that was
Yeah.
written by this person in 2017,
Mm-hmm.
which criticizes it for being, like
A propaganda piece.
a propaganda piece. So it seems like that's the only article that's ever been written to say it's a propaganda
Nobody
piece.
cares.
Yeah, but it is very relevant.
Right.
Like I said.
published an
Anyway, let's
article
play a
entitled
little more.
Spiritual Performance. She believed that Shen Yun was a self-proclaimed religious
Okay,
and
that's cool.
commercial
Whatever.
person.
Let's skip to our next.
One of
Geico Caveman's played out.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. sorry, bro.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, there we
See
go.
you next time.
Oh, interesting.
Thanks for watching. See you next time. I don't have a YouTube channel. You didn't kiss.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone.
You didn't kiss
This is
Geico
Chris from New
Caveman.
York.
So wait. Here's another guy.
Okay.
So he comes along.
Is the volume all the way up? Because they're saying it's super low.
Again?
Just up this volume over
To the
here.
max.
Oh, but yeah.
Blow out their eardrums.
I think it was probably just one clip we.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Sorry.
Yeah.
They were
maybe
the
not
beautiful.
that high.
I mean, it was already past 100.
Oh, just leave it at 100 then.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
If he was Geico Caveman, what is
no,
this
you know
guy?
what? Because Geico Caveman is speaking really bad with this audio.
Yeah,
that's
it's bad
why.
audio. This is
I'll
better.
just
It's
leave
got
it
a
on
mic, so.
Yeah. This guy, I don't know. He seems pretty slick to me. Looks pretty hip and
He's a
happening.
slick dude.
Yeah. He's got his little wrinkled collar on there, and you know.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably last minute, right?
Yeah. Anyway, let's see what this slick New Yorker has to say.
Beautiful and iconic Lincoln Center. The famous Juilliard School is right behind us as well. And it's not that nice out today. I got splashed on my way in. And we're on Broadway. What better place in New York City? Every year, so many theaters put on incredible shows. Interesting stories and lessons in culture from all around the world. We as New Yorkers, we respect everyone. And we love all religions. And so many people are interested in
Can you pause that
Chinese...
for a second? You're a New Yorker. Do
Yeah,
New Yorkers
yeah.
respect everyone?
Oh, no. Bloody hell, no. You joking me? You know what? Before we go on, though, this is... You can immediately understand that this is a Chinese to English script
Yeah.
because of the way that all of these possessives are thrown around and stuff. And these,
Yeah.
we as New Yorkers are blah blah because they always do woman zhongguo,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
They think it's gonna hit the same nerve.
Exactly.
And meanwhile, it's just some rando.
It's a silly script as well, and you can
Right.
hear he's been told to read it exactly. And this is something that actually happened to me before. I went to do like a modeling job for cognac.
Right.
Okay, it was a white monkey job,
Yeah.
and it was some
Of course.
lame cognac from China, and I was like, this is great. And the English was terrible
Right.
in the script. And I said, look, this is wrong. And they
Right.
said, no, read it like
Read it.
that.
Yeah.
And it was
They always
like,
do that.
brightly great, the cognac.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, no, you can't say that. But they were like, no, they didn't accept it unless I did it exactly like they wanted.
Right.
So that's what's happening here.
Yeah,
So when he's
yeah.
speaking bad grammar
not
and
him.
stuff, it's not him, it's the script.
Sure.
It's
culture, but there are shows from European, Japanese, and Chinese culture among many others. I've seen shows here many times, but only until recently was I made to feel uncomfortable by seeing a performance of Shen Yun. Shen Yun is advertised as a traditional Chinese performance. 5,000 years of civilization reborn. A concise introduction and elegant design. And if you went to go see the show, the first half is good. However, after the first half, the message turns to a more political or religious message by a group called Falun Gong. You will see these flags during the show, some with Chinese characters, and this confused me. So I asked some of my Chinese friends, is Falun Gong a part of Chinese culture? But they said no. Even more confusing, halfway
reading the
through the
script.
performance, a group comes out to perform Falun Dofa.
Tofu.
I found this confusing,
Tofu.
political, and honestly, it's very violent.
See, wait, can you
Nowhere in
pause
the
it there? See, same
It's
words.
the same script.
Yeah.
It's literally almost the same script.
Yeah.
And it's so unnatural it hurts. We didn't need to point that out.
Yeah.
But it's literally the same person that, got
Yeah.
paid to go hire people.
This, in fact,
we'll
comes...
continue.
Yeah, let's continue.
Sure, did it say not to bring children? But was I the only one who had this opinion? After the show, I did a quick Google search, but I found that I wasn't the only one with this opinion. Many others felt the same way. And in 2017, an author by the name of Sarah Jane
There we
Bailey
go. See,
of the
it's
Spiritual
mentioning the same
Performance
article
wrote that
from
the show wasn't that good,
2017.
Yeah.
and that it was
Told you
used
to
for
be
commercial or religious purpose, and that although there's enough dance in the show, there's nowhere near enough to hold a 2.5-hour performance. This is when I realized this was not a traditional Chinese performance. And it's disappointing very much. I hope that everyone can see this for themselves, because a lot of people want to learn about
I
Chinese
was disappointed very much.
And
What? Who
New
says
Yorkers,
that?
We respect all religions. And the same goes for politics. Some people here love President Trump,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
others really hate him. But it doesn't matter because we're all New Yorkers. And I hope everyone can see this for themselves before they see the show. This is Chris, and thanks for watching.
No kiss.
No,
No
kiss.
kiss. No
How
kiss.
rude.
Yeah.
I was cracking up the whole time. I've been kind of eyeing the comments a little bit. And somebody
Right.
said that he must use gutter oil for hair gel. And okay, I gotta say this again.
Yeah.
These last two guys have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't understand they're pushing CCP rhetoric and trying to literally destroy this entire performance.
Yeah.
Right? They don't understand the connotations. behind
Probably
it.
what's happened here is, this guy is obviously in the States. So
Yeah.
I don't know how he got approached, email or something. and-
Dude, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I think it lends more credibility to it.
Yeah.
Because the last guy was in this fake ass newsroom.
Yeah, no, he's definitely in China. It was probably his
That was straight up
yeah,
China.
probably his teaching assistant,
Yeah.
friend,
Right.
asked, do you know any foreigners? And they're like, yeah, there's this new guy at the school.
Well, in all the universities I work at, they have these fake kind of studio things
Yeah.
that they do the
Yeah.
broadcasts and stuff from.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the New York gutter oil boy, he doesn't know. He's just got a script. He got a script in the mail, right? I think it'll be so funny if we end up getting one of these gigs. Like if they actually, I think they're too smart to send it to us, but
Yeah.
I've gotten some ridiculous ones that go shill for China's great influence in Tibet. They wanted
Right.
me to do that.
Right.
That was fairly recently. So if we managed to land like one of these, it would be hilarious to actually
it would be. It would
do
be
a piss take and send their money
fantastic.
back.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say though is that that no hard feelings of these guys. It's
Sure.
just this is the new step that China's taking because you can't have a Chinese person speak to the audience. They got to have some random foreigner
Yeah.
that's like, no, this is ridiculous. I did a lot of research and I don't like this. Very much disappointing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really silly because if there was a Chinese person, like I said, standing there and saying, guys, you're being fooled.
Right.
This isn't real
Don't
Chinese
waste your money.
culture.
Right.
If you want to know real Chinese culture,
to
read
the-
Confucius or
Go
something.
read Mao's Red Book.
Yeah, whatever. I would take that seriously.
Yeah.
Not a
More.
paid clown who can't speak English properly, mispronouncing things. It looks like a joke.
Right.
You know,
Right.
what's wrong with these people? Figure out your
I feel
soft
so
power
bad. I keep
propaganda.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
honestly, if you're gonna take a gig like that, you should probably do a little more work or a little more research into it. You know what I mean?
it's true. I mean,
Like
yeah.
you're making political commentary on the side of the road.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
it is a
in
bit
poor
silly.
English.
Maybe the guy's looking for his acting break, and this came along.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he's
Well,
in
the
like.
first guy already got a Geico commercial.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Poor guy. He's probably such a nice guy. in
I
real
know.
life.
Listen, if you're watching this,
Yeah.
our apologies, but it's right in line with what we want to point out. And I want to end with one thing.
Yes.
Whoever, actually two things real quick.
Okay.
You know how things work in China, like in factories and like the hierarchy of work culture?
Yeah.
Like a boss will tell one person, this is what needs to be done.
Yeah.
In this case, we need to get a bunch of white people to talk about how Shen Yun is bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's so many like people in the chain of command that the end product is so bad.
Yes.
It's so awful. It's just like that with like cheap electronics and stuff
Exactly
like that.
the
Vivi
same.
always told me stories like that. So that's why you end up with some Geico caveman without a microphone. You know,
Yes.
and like the boss is gonna look at this and be like, "What happened here?" You know what I mean?
Exactly.
My second point that I wanted to end off on is if the board in charge of this, the censorship board that actually like put out the feelers to find these people, if they see our video, they're gonna be pretty upset.
They're probably going to be pretty
Because
upset.
no one can ever make a video like that again.
No, they can't.
No.
I mean, we also have to point out that the second video also comes from JJ McCulloch.
Yeah.
'Cause he-
I did. I said.
You should. We'll put
Check
a
out his
link.
channel.
Yeah,
It's in the description right now.
in the description. You can go look at that specific video. He actually
Very
shows the email back and forth that he had with the guy who was trying to set him up with this. So it's actually interesting to go and take a look.
Definitely
Yeah,
check him out.
go there and say ADV China sent us
Yeah.
something like that in
Yeah.
the comments. That'd be kind of cool at some point.
Seems like a cool.
Yeah, it
dude.
seems like a
And
nice
thanks for helping us out, JJ.
Absolutely. Anyway, this is something that, we've both been approached to do things like this, so we know it's a real thing, and now here you can actually see it. It's some kind of weird,
It's bizarre.
misguided soft power propaganda.
And
is
it's
what
just
it is.
so fruitless.
Yeah, it
you
is.
know? It's just providing material for
No
comedy.
Western person who watches that's going to take it seriously.
No.
Be like, what's this?
And you should probably find influencers that have more than like 3 subs. You know what I mean?
Sure, exactly. The issue though is the Chengguan are vicious. They are thugs.
They are. China hates the poor.
Yes.
And the government shits on the poor left and right.
Sets them on fire, destroying people's
Yeah,
livelihoods. Yeah,
Kicking women.
kicking old women. Yeah, it's kind of unsafe.
Ocean, not fruit.
Yeah, that's pretty unsafe if you ask me. Look at that junk. Oh, and they see someone's recording.
And the Chungwan sees the camera, it's all over.
Yeah, look. Yeah, they see the Chungguan coming and they do. It's like, I'm out of here.
Probably, wow, so good.
It probably is it?
Wow, so good.
When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind were